This is Country Club Prado, one of the most beautiful streets in Coral Gables.
This quaint city, which was originally part of the city of Miami, is known as the City Beautiful. It was created by famed architect George Merrick in 1925 and boasts some of the nation's most beautiful old Spanish-style homes.
This monument is one of the most well-known in Coral Gables.
It is the entrance to the City Beautiful and a great place for photo shoots.
Coral Gables is also home to our own University of Miami campus. At a school on the move like the University of Miami, every student has bankable skills. Sometimes the hardest part is discovering what they really are. Envision picking up a football midway through high school and excelling so greatly that you could change the life of those you care about. Here's the story of one of UM's biggest hams, those who teach him, and what he taught me. If you think running to class and studying while still finding time to enjoy yourself sounds hectic, imagine doing all that while also being an athlete at the University of Miami. You know him as wide receiver number 47. I spoke with LaRon Bird about how he's able to do it all.
Practice at 6, probably be done about 8. Weights, 8:30, be done about 10. Class at 11, another class at 12:15, another class after that. Then I have meetings at 2:30. Then after meetings, I probably go do a little extra film watch some film. Be done about 4:30. I get home, eat a little bit, study, go to sleep, and wake up and do it all again.
LaRon spoke about how education can help him in the future.
Academics is a big part of everything. You know, I mean, I don't know one successful person in this world right now, you know, that really doesn't rely on education.
A football scholarship provided LaRon with a chance to fulfill the promise he made to his mother.
That's a promise that I made to her when I came to college my freshman year. I told her I'm going to get my degree. And my mom, she's a very strong woman, come from a single parent household of 6. You know, my mom has 6 kids, so I told her I made that promise to her, and that's the first thing she talked about before even football, is about education.
I wanted a better view than the student section to know just how hard it is to be a football player. Look at that, perfect spiral.
There we go. You gotta return it, man. Oh, my hat's on.
Go up 5 steps, bring it to a corner up. Give him a nice handshake, bring it back to the post. Get you over the top of the scope.
All right.
Full quarter, man.
I'm ready.
Oh! Go up 3 steps this way.
There we go.
And then bring it back that way for the touchdown.
That's touchdown.
Oh!
You gotta get the catch. That's 4 to the top 10 right there. 4 to the top 10. 4 to the top 10.
Ah! It looks like I'm gonna need a lot of help on the gridiron if I'm gonna be better. And LaRon can help me there. But where do athletes go when they need help in the classroom?
Monday through Friday, you'll see like this whole thing right here just packed full of student athletes trying to get their work done. You know, a place where you can just study and instead of going to the library during exam times when you have like the whole library packed with all the students from UM trying to cram in the last minute studying. At least you have a chance to come in here and kind of like isolate yourself.
All student athletes have the option of getting tutors for any class they need help with.
All you gotta do is either send an email or send a text to a tutor, let them know whenever you want to meet. I mean, whenever they're free, they're here for us, however long we need them to be. When I'm stuck on a lot of things, I definitely revert to the tutors, revert to the academic advisors to help me get that point across, and then I just go back and I erase what they tell me and I do it over and over and over again, like probably 5 times each, so I can learn it myself.
My executive producer, Taylor Pearson, has worked as an athletic tutor for 3 years.
Being an athletic tutor, it's really impressed me most the dedication these athletes have for their work. I'll have to try to find a time to meet with them for 1 hour, and 5 out of the 7 days a week they can't because of practice, because of class, because of meetings, because of, you know, weights, everything else, but they still will find the time and they get those hours in because they are dedicated to their school.
Miami is making big strides in the classroom and now has one of the highest athletic graduation rates in the nation. For many people, however, one image still exists.
I never really thought that was Forrest thugs. I mean, as far as their swagger and their cockiness, people always consider those guys are thugs. There's nothing really much that we could do to change that around, but in order to just do what we have to do. You know, that was in the past, so I mean, we can't keep living off of what the past has done. But as far as education, I think Coach Shannon does a real good job to enforce it on us and make sure that we put education first.
Coach Shannon has ingrained his work ethic, not only on LaRon, but in other members of the team as well.
Being a student athlete, if you can be successful off the field, in the classroom.
Obviously, football only goes so long, and you have to have something to fall back on.
Those things carry over on the field. You're more focused. You tend to pay attention more.
And, I mean, with the success we've had in graduation, guys getting their education is key.
Bringing home good grades and doing what I have to do in the classroom, because I know after football, my education is going to kick in. So therefore, academics is an important asset in my life.
Athletes must use everything they've learned from family, coaches, and teammates to be successful on the field and in the game of life. Melissa, LaRon is such a funny guy. He even made me feel like I could walk on to the football team.
That was such a fun story, Ben. And just like you would expect from a higher learning institution, not only are football players encouraged to do well in their academics, but learning and tolerance is happening all over campus as well.
The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is decades old, but tensions between the communities are fresh and heated.
Palestinians fear losing more and more territory as Israel continues building settlements in East Jerusalem and the West Bank, while Israeli citizens are under constant threat of rocket fire and terrorist attacks.
Although Israel and Palestine are an ocean away, the conflict has reached our own shores. Last February, students at the University of California at Irvine verbally attacked Israeli Ambassador Michael Oren with phrases such as, "I accuse you of murder," in response to Israel's 2009 invasion of the Gaza Strip.
Incidents like this and the current discourse over Islam's place in the United States have further polarized these already estranged communities. However, it has also energized local peacemakers.
This past October, a new UM student group, Jews and Muslims, hosted the first student-run interfaith conference in the nation. Called Yad B'Yed, it means hand in hand in both Arabic and Hebrew.
Amber Robertson has the story.
The Hand in Hand Conference, a place of laughter and revelry, but also a meeting point for two cultures in conflict. Kobe Skolnick, a speaker and Israeli peace activist, shares his story.
When I was young, I used to go to the city and throw stones at Palestinian kids. And when I was in the Israeli Defense Forces, I found myself in the same street trying to fire at kids that throwing stones at me as a soldier. And little questions start to accumulate in my mind. Why those kids are throwing stones? Why I did throw stones just 3 years earlier?
But how do we find the answers to questions like Kobe's? Conference organizer Shoshi Gottesman may have the solution.
Let's learn how to be friends. A lot of people assume that we need to start with the tough conversations, and I really don't think that's the way to go. I mean, first, the other person, the other, has to be human, and that can only happen if you're already friends.
Fellow organizer Reem Habash reaffirms Shoshi's words by learning about the trials of others and comparing them to her own family's tragic story.
Because Shoshi and I have very similar family history. The side of the family were forced out of their homes, and they walked to Yafa. Her grandparents are Holocaust survivors, and I'm taking a Holocaust survivor class now where I meet with a survivor and get to talk to her about her experiences and what that was like, kind of being like ejected from your home and like feeling like a refugee and like going to a camp and what like that experience was like and what it's like surviving and overcoming those like difficulties.
Conference content was specifically designed to help other students do the same. JAM's once-a-semester interfaith dinner, called Abraham's Tent, was a key component. During the conference, participants broke up into groups during the Abraham's Tent event to discuss shared experiences.
Yeah, the biggest thing has definitely been how all-encompassing all the religions are. I didn't know that Islam accepted Jesus as a prophet. I had no idea about how closely the religions corresponded with each other.
Although the conference had excellent programming, student attendance was still very low. So I decided to ask students just what they knew about the conflict.
I really haven't heard much about the conflict in Israel and Palestine.
No.
I have no idea. At least, I don't think I do.
I know this beautiful campus and beautiful sun, and you don't think about it, but our generation need to wake up. And I believe that we need to wake up fast.
But wake up to what? I needed to find someone who could give me an answer.
And what happens in the Middle East affects us here in the United States. Some of the violence that hit us here in the United States had its roots in the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. Certain parts of the Middle East accuse the United States of being against Palestine and heavily in favor of Israel.
Even with the low attendance and unfortunate lack of interest, the conference and its organizers have left a significant imprint on UM's future students.
And today we had a symbolic groundbreaking for the Islamic Student Center in commemoration of our efforts to establish a building on campus for the Muslim students to pray, and this absolutely is important to promote diversity and just inclusion of all different groups on campus.
For us to really help them get this going and make a difference here on campus, it shows that we are all equal and we all deserve to worship God in our own way. So if there's any way that Shoshi and I can help them throughout the process,
why not?
Find JAM on Facebook to learn about their future projects on campus. For Miami in Action, this is Amber Robertson.
It is nice to see progress being made in interfaith relations, at least among students.
It gives us all hope. And on this positive note, we come to the end of our program, Miami in Action, written, produced, and reported by honor students at the University of Miami's School of Communication.
Thanks so much for watching.
See you next time.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to do it how you have it written.
You just broke it. And yes, I am recording.
Look, I'm Sebastian. It's so awkward.
I've been Cathey.
And I'm Melissa Alvarez. My hair, I'm sorry.
See you happy? Change the lives of those you care about.
Sounds like a success.